Okay, so I mean, my spiritual journey has always been like, my journey period has always been like faith based, no matter where I went or what I had to do. I just think it's difficult, like, and I'm not judging them because I know, like, they're man or woman, like, they're not God, so I know they're gonna make mistakes. But I feel like a lot of the people in the churches that I've been exposed to or that I go to, people don't take trying to be Christ like seriously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that like really hinders me from wanting to go there because like deep inside, like I really do want to do good and like do good for other people, and I really do try, and I enjoy doing good for other people, like not even for it to be seen or for like this big hoopla, like if no one ever knew about it, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I enjoy that, but all the drama that comes along with that,
So how do you feel like you are Christ-like in your daily life?
child, I'm not cussing everybody out.
No, I don't think I've ever heard you say a cuss word.
I mean, I say that, like, just curse somebody out,
Yeah.
but, like, I don't actually curse, but, like, literally, I would be
Yeah.
cursing everybody out,
Yeah.
like, for no reason. Like, the fat people upstairs, I would be cursing out. Like, if you knew all the names and comments that were running through my head at 1 a.m. before I knocked on this man's door.
So what do you do with that? All that stuff that's in your head.
Laugh at myself.
Okay.
Completely laugh at myself because I'm a fool. And it's funny. But I know that even in the midst of like my highest point of anger, like I can't direct that onto someone. You know what I mean? Especially because I already know I'm going through a lot. I already know that I'm super stressed. And maybe if I wasn't so stressed, like that might not be such a big issue. You know what I'm saying? Like I might not feel the same way.
But
I mean,
is that enough?
To keep me from cussing them out?
No, is not cussing them out enough?
I mean,
So God says, blessed are the peacemakers. So peacemakers go into conflict. Is it enough to just not cuss somebody out? Cuss somebody out?
I mean, for me, because I feel like I'm not like a pushover. I'm not gonna be run over.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm going to address the situation so that it can be known. Closed mouths don't get fed. Galatians 1:12. But as far as being in that situation and being able to confront it, I feel like I confront it as Christ-like as possible.
What do you think God would have said, or Jesus, to the fat man upstairs?
Jesus would have gave the man a gastric bypass or broke the man's foot so that he had to be in rehab and heal so that he wouldn't stomp so much. Like,
Do not operate on the fat man upstairs.
I'm not, because I'm not Jesus. Or Jesus would have had the man have a heart attack, see the light so that he could talk to him face to face. And then, you know, we would go from there quietly and peacefully. But I'm not God. That's why I'm not him. That's why he is him and I am me. I'm still a work in progress. The Lord knows my heart. He know that it's pure. My intentions are good, but sometimes I may falter.
So you're tired.
Tired is not the word. I'm beyond exhausted. Beyond exhausted. Mascara? When have you ever?
No.
Right.
I've seen eyebrows.
Eyebrows, yes, because I look like a naked mole rat. But mascara?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever. Like, mascara is just not my jam. But that's how tired and how bored I was because I couldn't sleep playing in mascara. Like,
so is this tired fixed by sleep, Or is it such mental exhaustion that it takes something else?
Like what?
Do you ever think you get real rest? Because you've said before, I wake up and it's the same thing every day.
Yeah. I don't think I get any mental rest because it is the same stress, and then I feel like at this point like I'm adding stress on top of the other problems that I already had. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like I'm solving them and then I'm moving on to the next thing. They remain unsolved, but the next thing still comes. So no. No. But I do know that I think, at least, that not getting physical rest makes my mental exhaustion, my emotional exhaustion, like my temperament, like the amount of BS I can tolerate, like significantly lower. Yeah. Like I'm not here for anything at all.
I would say most of us are like that.
But then you think like a lot of the times, like when I don't sleep or when I do sleep, I've already gone 2 days without sleep. Oh. Like it's not until like my body actually gives out and collapses until I go to sleep. So by that point, I've already spent like a whole day super anxious, super hyped up. You know what I'm saying?
So is that because of the noise that you can't sleep?
Part of it is the noise.
What are the other parts?
Part of it is the noise, and then I think it's just like a snowball effect. Like, oh, my hands are itching. This soap.
Which hand?
My right. Does that mean I'm getting money?
No, I think that's meet somebody, isn't it?
Child will meet somebody that'll give me money. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I think originally it's like the reason why I can't go to sleep, and then once I'm like awake, I'm going over like everything in my head because I can't do anything about it. Like I don't have the money available to just pick up and leave and go to another apartment or move to another city, or, you know what I'm saying, be somewhere where I'm not literally at someone's grace, just hanging in the balance. That's what I don't like. Like nothing in my life is secure. It's hanging in the balance depending on somebody.
So you don't have control over
else. Yeah, like I don't have control over anything. And that is like...
And that's not who you were.
That's not who I was. And that's a horrible feeling for anybody, regardless of who you are, to not have control over anything in your life. Like...
So who really has control?
The people that are helping me at this point, I guess.
But I don't have control over, even though it's definitely on a different scale, we don't have a lot of control over anything.
True.
I picked which pants I would wear this morning, you know what I mean? But
feeling the velour, feeling it.
But other than that, you know what I mean?
I mean...
Because you went to college, you got the job, you worked the job, and then everything blew up.
Literally. Literally. I mean...
You did what you were supposed to do.
Yes. I think... like, maybe it is at someone else's control. Because, like, when you rent, when you do whatever, like, you are at their mercy, right? Like, they have control. But if you are in a position, if you're successful, if you have the money, that control doesn't mean as much. Because if they decide like, hey, I'm not renewing your lease, or I don't want you here anymore for absolutely no reason, like we went through before, then it's like, okay, well, I have the money to be able to go and do something different or make other moves. You
More
know what I'm
freedom.
saying? Yeah, more freedom. Like I have a choice. I have a way to get out of that situation. And right now I'm just stuck because I don't any situation that I'm put in, I personally don't have a way to get out. It's not like I can go and work, pick up 2 extra shifts a week to like have more money to get, you know what I'm saying, out of the situation, or I can like make this move to get out of this situation, or like call this person for help. Like I don't have any of that. It's just me, and if I can't do it, then it's not going to get done. So
When at this point, your health is a full-time job.
listen, ma'am, with no benefits.
Ooh, with no
Okay?
benefits.
And there's not a cafeteria in the building. Like, full-time job.
Yeah.
And I wish it wasn't. And it's sad that it's set up that it has to be. But at this point, like, I don't have a choice. Like, any energy that I have every day has to go towards that. Like, towards calling the insurance, calling the pharmacy, calling the help desk, calling the doctors, leaving messages, getting records, having records faxed, like confirming that people did what they were supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like going to doctor's appointments. Just like my doctor was supposed to call in a prescription on Friday. They're supposed to, I called on Wednesday. They were supposed to schedule a telehealth appointment or have the nurse call me. They didn't do that on Wednesday. I called Wednesday morning. So then I waited and thought maybe they just got busy. Thursday, didn't hear from them. So by the time I called on Friday, thankfully the guy that I always talk to on Friday was like, well, that's a shame. I'll just put him on the phone. Got the doctor, put him on the phone, and I talked to him. He was like, okay, I'll call you something in. I'll call 2 prescriptions in for you, whatever. I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. So I called to get the prescriptions before I came all the way down here to make sure that they were ready. And they were like, we didn't get anything from them. We don't have any prescriptions. So I'm like, what in the world? Like, and then I called Walmart because that's like the backup pharmacy, thinking maybe they called it there by accident. No, nothing. No prescriptions at all. So then I'm like, okay, well, do I go to urgent care? Like, what do I do? Because this is a problem that I've been trying to get addressed since Wednesday, and now it's Saturday. The office is closed, so what am I supposed to do? So I just called the on-call doctor, who doesn't even work in this office. She works at the one in Hancock, but she doesn't have they have paper charts still, so she doesn't have my medical history. She doesn't have like anything in front of her. She doesn't have any of my records. She doesn't even know what my allergies are. Like, nothing. So then I'm like, what if I was like, couldn't remember like what my allergies are, or didn't know exactly like the antibiotics that I reacted to, or you know what I mean? Like, that's a lot to keep track of. So I basically had to give her like my medical history so that we can run stuff down. And then she still ordered something that I was allergic to. So, which is not her fault. I mean, she was trying to do the best with what she had. But I'm like, you still have to stay on top of it to make sure people do their job. Because if they didn't, then I would have went all of Saturday, all of Sunday, and he comes in late on Monday before I would even be able to get it addressed, let alone get a prescription or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And like, when you're in pain and having bladder spasms and all that, like, that's not cute. Like, at all. You want to get it taken care of. So I'm like, you just have to stay on people. It's not like, oh yeah, I called my doctor, he said he'll take care of it, and then you just wait because they will. You have to check and double check and recheck, and then check with the pharmacy, double check, recheck. Like, people just don't want to do their job. So you have to do it for them if you want it done. You know what I'm saying? Like, how far did I get whenever I was just nice and didn't say anything and just was letting things happen? Like, You know what I mean? I didn't get anywhere. And now here we are 3 years later. Literally 3 years later, and I'm at the same spot.
So thinking back to 3 years ago, are you, because we started off this talk about your faith and your journey, are you closer to Christ or farther away or the same?
Mm. Mm. I think I'm probably further away. I don't know.
There's no right or wrong answer. But
I know. I don't know. I think further away. At least before, whenever I started this, like, I was hopeful. I felt like my faith was stronger. Like, I knew God was going to work. I didn't know how these pieces were going to come together. I didn't know what he was going to do with the mess that was my life at that point. But I knew he was going to, like, work it out and do something, and he was going to get the glory. Like, I knew that. And then slowly but surely, I'm like, okay, you're not doing anything about this, and you're adding more problems. And you're taking away more people. So now all the people that I could call on or use as a resource are gone.
But is that God or is that Satan?
I think God allows things to happen. I think things happen in, like, the natural world. Could he have stopped them from dying? Yes, absolutely. But he didn't. I don't know why. I would drive myself crazy trying to figure out why. So I don't even try and concentrate on that. But I'm still here 3 years later trying to hold on to, like, what faith I have. Because, like, he has brought me out before. So I know he has the ability to do it. But also, I've seen the medical side. I've seen people die. I've worked hospice. I've worked the cancer floor. I've given chemo. And I know that he doesn't always do it. He doesn't always heal people. He doesn't always come through. Like, he just doesn't. And why? I don't know. It's not a lack of faith. It's not a lack of prayer. Like, I've seen the most religious people come in and give them chemo, and they still, in the middle of an infusion, their first infusion, code and die. So it's like, I've seen horrible things. So it's not like I can just have this blind eye and think it's so magical. Like, God will just show up and turn it around in the snap of a finger, which he can. I'm not doubting that, but I'm also realistic because I know that sometimes he just doesn't. So I have to fight that much harder to maintain the little bit of faith that I do have, because I don't know if he's going to fix it. And that's what makes it so hard to live every day. That's what makes it so hard every day. Because I'm like, is this the best day that I'm going to have for the rest of my life? Because each day seems to be getting, like, worse. So is today going to be, like, the best of the rest? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, I don't know what...
So that hope is really diminished.
Gone. Okay? South for the winter. On vacation.
How can we help increase that hope?
I don't have anything. What am I hoping for? To get better? To do what? Go back to nursing and working 16 hours and abusing my body? My parents are gone.
You want to have a family.
I do want to have a family, but am I going to have a family? I still have all these problems. Still with the bleeding, the pain, the tumors that keep coming back. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like regular people, they take them out and they're fine. Like, they're reoccurring. So Am I going to have a family? I still don't have a partner, like a husband. I'm not just about to be anyone's baby mama.
No, that wouldn't solve anything.
So what is it like? You know what I'm saying? Like, where am I supposed to move here?
So 3 years ago, you had more hope, and you felt like you were potentially closer to Jesus. What were some of the literal things you were doing differently? Like amount of prayer.
No, because I think I pray more now than I did then.
Okay. So how come you think you're less close? Because it sounds like you're talking.
I guess because I have like less, I don't want to, I guess less faith. And like, I'm mad, I'm upset. It's really hard whenever you know someone can do something. Like, I know he could just like blink and turn this whole situation around, and like he doesn't. And it's hard because like you want to believe that he's going to use this for good somehow, which I don't see how in the world you could use any of this for anything good unless you chop it up and put it on, use it as sprinkles on some poop pie. Like, I don't know what else you could use it for. I don't. But I'm holding on that he's gonna do something with this. But then on the other hand, in the meantime, I have to live this every day. And that is hard. Like, I don't think people realize how hard it is to just live this misery every single day. Like,
I agree with you. I don't think people know how hard it is.
And I can't, part of me is upset at that, but part of me is not, because I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Like, it's real. Like, there have been some low points, like some scary points, some points I don't even have no comments about, but I've made it through them so far. And I just don't know realistically, like the normal, not saying that I'm like so rough and tough with my Afro puff, but like I don't know normal people who go through this and like survive and come out on the other side. Like, I don't. I've never heard like a story. I've never seen anybody else. Like, I don't know. I don't have that example. And everyone always says like representation matters. And it does, not just for like color and seeing people who look like you, but just in life in general. Like, I don't have any representation that this gets better, that there's something else on the other side.
People definitely don't talk about mental health and even financial stress as much as they go through it. You know, people, want to live that social media life of post the pictures, everything's great. Meanwhile they're fighting right before the picture's taken.
Child, right. And arguing during the picture through the smile, right? Okay.
I've been there, yeah.
Oh. We've all done it. I'm sure.
I think that's really key. So you can be a representative to people in the store.
But it's not just like the mental health and the financial problem, because I feel like everyone has like something, well, not everyone, but most people has something that happens to them that's like hard or difficult to overcome. But then it's like when you have that, plus now you have this, plus now you have this, plus now you have this and this and this, like,
yeah,
people are literally like jumping off the bridge. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have anyone that I can look to that has made it to the other side, because people just can't deal. They are collapsing under the pressure, and there's just not, people think that like there's these resources that help you and are supposed to like make things better. Girl, yeah, because I'm feeling like I'm in the Maldives in here, okay?
There we go, yeah.
Hot.
If I'm hot, you have to be hot.
Burn it up, okay? Might already be in hell, but
Stop it. No! I did so good.
Oh, but really, like, who has made it to the other side? Like, people literally killed themselves. Like,
No, I was thinking
who
about
was
that.
left?
Because a lot of times you and I will talk about contemporary television shows. Watching that show, Schitt's Creek, I thought about those people genuinely were kind to. I mean, they played with each other. Don't get me wrong, but they were genuinely kind, even with the goofy people of the town, which is sort of like where we live, I think.
Listen. This is Schitt's Creek.
It is.
This is Schitt's Creek.
Minus, people are not generally kind here. Even Moira got her hair done to look like Jocelyn and was kind about it. I think most people don't have that level of kindness.
And I hate to say, because I know rich people who are mean, but I do feel like it's like a class issue. Like, whenever you're fighting for survival, like, the last thing on your mind is to be kind to someone else, when it should be your first, like, thought, because you don't know when you're going to need that other person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's why I think a lot of people, even Woe Was Me, like, doesn't understand, because she's like, well, why do you keep talking to them, and why do you keep going down there, and they don't do the same for you? And I'm like, strangely enough, as much as my back has been against the wall, no, I haven't been able to return to the people that I've helped, but God has sent someone, like a stranger, or you know what I mean? Like, someone out the blue. He always had a ram in the bush to meet whatever need, like, I had. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it makes it worth it. Like, I'm not necessarily, I am doing it for that person, but I'm doing it out of the kindness of my heart.
And I
you know what I'm saying?
We see that a lot. You know, when I saw that show and watched that show, I thought, something's different about this.
Yeah.
What is different about this? And it took me a long time to realize that even though they were in a terrible storm, I mean, it's fictional, but you know, nonetheless, they were nice to each other. I mean, you know, family drama and that kind of thing, but they were still nice to each other. They cared about people's feelings. And a lot of the stuff that we see, it's the worst, the meanest you can be, the better ratings you get. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I don't like. And that's what makes it so hard about, like, me coming to therapy, because I feel like I come to therapy, I work on myself. Like, I really do listen to what you say, even though we just be in here kikiing. But, like, when we do have those moments, and I do take, like, it to heart and try and, like, improve myself to be the best, most resilient version of myself. But then I still have to go out there to, like, family and friends who have never been to therapy, who haven't identified their toxic behavior, who think nothing is wrong with them, and still coexist with them. You know what I'm saying? So then it's like, okay, I know better, so I do better. But then these people, they don't know better, so they're not doing better. So what do you do with that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's my family. Like, I love them to death, but some of them, child.
When we talked about friends before, my mom says, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. You know, I know it's super cheesy, but at the same time, we're in an area where there's not a great deal of motivation. There's some, you know.
Where?
Right. You know.
Is that on the east side?
You know? Oh.
I live up the mountain. Let me know if I need to turn, you know, the third exit off 68 or where I need to go, because I haven't found it. I haven't.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think there's such a lack of just a general stagnation?
I think because people don't see better. Like, you're raised here, you see how your mom lives, and that's like your standard. You know what I mean? And then, like, I think about my own life, and I thank goodness that I had supplemental people to take me from where I am and to show me a different life. And it wasn't even about like the riches and being able to afford things. It was about being able to have enough to give to other people. And that has like been my motivation. I wanted to be in a place, I wanted to be so successful that I could come back and give to other people selflessly, and it not like take away from my family. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't believe in that self-sacrifice, like give someone the shirt off your back and then you're cold. I don't subscribe to that. Like I would never put my family through that. But to have enough that you can still wear your shirt but give your neighbor one too, like that's the position that I wanted to be in.
And you were in that position.
I was, and I was so happy. Even like while I was losing people, like I was getting depressed, it was sad, but I was still able to like compensate somehow. You know what I mean? Like work more hours, like pay for stuff at the funeral, be able to fly home, rent a car to be there, pick up my family from the airport, like whatever was needed, I was able to do. And it wasn't like oh yeah, you know, I got it, so you know, I'll be coming through. No, it was genuinely like.
So do you feel that you're worthy now that you can't do those things?
Worthy of what?
Love.
From who?
The same people who you were giving a shirt to. Now that you can't give a shirt, now that you need a shirt, do you find that level of love is there?
Do I feel like I'm worthy of it? Yes, absolutely. Do I find it there? Absolutely not.
That sucks.
It does suck, but like I said, like I didn't give it to them.
No, I know you didn't.
Like the mindset of whenever I need a shirt, like, you know, I can come back because I gave you one.
Yeah.
I gave it to them because I could do it. Yeah. But
I full-heartedly believe that. Yeah. I don't think you saw this coming.
I really didn't. I really, really didn't. And I always had like empathy for like people who were in situations even that I wasn't in, that I didn't understand. But now that I'm in this position, it does sting day after day, because I've seen people rally and gather around other people that had less complicated situations and to help them solve it. And then I'm like in a pretty serious situation. Like if you just take one of the pieces, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then like I'm left standing on my own. Like, I don't know, we talked about it before, I don't know if people just don't take me seriously, or if they see me and they're like, oh, well, she doesn't look like she's doing that bad, or oh, like she's come out on top before, like she'll be fine. Again, like I'm not sure what it is, but
it might be a combination of all of those things.
Yeah, but they've just left me standing by myself. So then now what? Like, now what?
That is the big question.
That's why I'm laid out on your couch. Yeah. Like, because I have no idea.
We've got to get your health better. You know? I think, mental health stuff too.
Yeah.
I think, though, that the mental health stuff is made worse by the physical health stuff and this craziness cycle of calling people, them not doing, just it's too much.
It is, and I don't know, like, how to make that better. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't make someone do something, but at the same time, like, this is not a life that I can get out of by myself. Like, this is not a situation that I can get out of by myself. Like, whenever I get the implant, like, I can't bend more than 45 degrees for 6 to 8 weeks. Who's going to help me?
So it all comes back to, again, you don't have control over that. And unfortunately, right now, there's not people waiting in line to help.
And that's my whole point. If I was in a better situation, like when I had the money, when I had the money and I was sick before, I just hired somebody, a travel nurse who was home on a break between contracts, to come and help me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I had money to solve these problems.
Right.
And now, not that it's all about like a money issue, but I'm just saying like that provided me the opportunity to like continue on.
Yeah.
But I don't have that now.
I think that you're absolutely right. Money doesn't buy happiness, but exactly like we said before, that freedom is there when financial stability is around. You know?
Yeah, and it's like being in jail.
I don't think that people realize how much that takes a toll also on your health, you know, with the stuff that your body's producing when you're under stress, trying to figure out where you're going to get the next meal and things like that. I mean,
absolutely.
You know,
and I don't think people realize how expensive it is to actually be sick.
Yes.
Like all the prescriptions that I take, like all my heart medicine, like some of them are covered, some of them are not. The one that really works isn't covered. So then they're trying to like mix other drugs to like supplement for that one. The stuff with my foot, you have to buy like bandages, there's wound care, there's
gas to get to the appointment,
gas to get to all these appointments, because it's not stuff that you can do over telehealth.
And you have no public transportation.
None.
There's not a bus, I'm sure, that comes to your apartment.
No, there's not. It's not even close. Yeah. But like you still have all the bandage supplies, you still have all the stuff with bleeding, between pads and creams and different washes and sprays and all that. Like that costs money. You know what I mean? Like just everything costs money. And then okay, yeah, you get food stamps, but food stamps isn't enough to pay for all your food for the whole month. And then it's like, well, I can only buy but so many things because I can't stand long enough to cook like an actual meal. So then like I feel like every which way I turn, like there's a roadblock and I don't know how to get past any of them. Like I'm just running around in a circle, bouncing around this like jail that I'm stuck in, and I don't know.
I don't want you to be any less of an advocate for yourself, because we know that in our system you have to be an advocate for your health. Have to
full time 40 hours,
you know. But there's got to be a way that you can rest even during this time, relax a bit.
How
You're very creative.
If I go a day without calling the insurance, following up with the medical device company, following up with the neurosurgeon, following up to make sure that they got all the records, like to make sure that I make every single appointment, because then it's like weeks before you can get it rescheduled. Like, when am I supposed to rest? And that's on good days. Like some days, you know, I literally have a bad day and I can't even get myself out of the bathroom, out of bed to go to the bathroom, which is why I literally have a kidney infection now, like, because those days are so bad. Yeah. So in the meantime,
I don't think people see that side of mental health nearly enough. You know, we've tried to talk about breaking the stigma. But legit, when you're depressed or anxious or dealing with another mental health condition, you might not be able to get to the bathroom. And you might make yourself physically sick. Because
Absolutely.
You can't get there.
Absolutely.
It's not a question of willpower. If it was a question of willpower, you wouldn't be in this situation.
Absolutely not. I would be the last person that would be in this situation. Like, and I wish it was. Yeah. I wish it was as easy as everyone thinks it is to like just think positive and you just have to do it and you just have to try. Like I wish it was that easy, but